for a while. Let's hold this game holding on to that while. Let's get it.
In a final that seems like destiny, St. Benedict's College come up against Fatima College in the Tiger Tanks Secondary Schools Football League Premiership Final here at the Atto Boland Stadium. Joining me on the pitch, Colin Murray, Brent Sancho. Guys, what do you make of the atmosphere today? Brent, let's hear it from you first.
Well, it's an electric atmosphere. We've seen buses coming in from the various schools since about 2 o'clock today, and the stadium is certainly filling up. The guys doing their warm-ups obviously would have had that sort of entertainment during the warm-up. Yeah. It's a buzzing atmosphere. Both teams should certainly be up for this one.
Well, definitely, and we also saw the old boys pulling in. Speaking of old boys, Colin Murray, you're an old boy at Fatima College.
Yeah, but let me tell you, you know, it's really a great atmosphere. I think both St. Benedict's and Fatima, the management of the school, totally behind the both teams, and you know, it just feels like a final. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think the players will be up for it. My only concern is a little bit of nerves, maybe, but there's no doubt that the atmosphere is one of a final.
Well, speaking of the atmosphere, the players actually set the atmosphere with somebody fighting words before. One of the players being, of course, Tristan Edwards, Fatima College's goalkeeper. Brent, what does St. Benedict's need to do to get past him?
I think it's more than just Tristan Edwards and his brilliance in goal. I think it's a Fatima as a unit defensively. They hold in midfield. They've been very, very solid. But one thing we know about St. Benedict's College, they are explosive up front. Their front three, arguably the best we've seen so far this season, and of course they have midfielders that are willing to break the lines, and Garcia, who's very, very talented, of course scored a wonderful goal against Presentation College in the semi-finals. So I do think they have the tools. It's going to be an intriguing encounter.
All right, Colin, who are some of the players that they have to look out for?
Well, I mean, St. Benedict's are very offensive. We've said that from the beginning. I think they've got the best offensive team in the league. Fatima, on the other hand, I think they've got a good all-round team. The midfield is solid. They got Bailey going up the sides of the park together with Kyle Williams, who is back from injury. He's going to be a big sort of, how should I put it, a plus for Fatima. Also Mason coming back as well from injury. So they've got possibly the strongest 11 starting, and that's going to be a huge fillip for Fatima here this afternoon. But make no mistake, they've got to be at the best. Edwards, super goalkeeper, because you need a goalkeeper of his quality against the best offensive team in the league.
Well, the players have their strategies, so do the coaches and the managers. We actually got a chance to speak to St. Benedict's College manager, and here's what he had to say.
St. Benedict College today, it's a grand final. Describe your emotion.
They say as it was in the beginning, so it would be in the end. First game was against Fatima. Coming into this game, you know, same opponent. As I said, we're all excited for both teams, for the Archdiocese Catholic board, having two Catholic schools in the final, representing them. And I know that both teams worked hard, really hard, to come out here, to display. And, you know, both teams play almost the same brand. It's just to see who's going to execute their game plan to the best.
You've met before. Both teams are unbeaten. Does that add any element of pressure in this final?
Yes, it does. Both teams, nobody wants to lose a game at any point in the season. But seeing that this game is one person is actually going to be, losing a game and one team will be undefeated. I know that both teams want to go undefeated, but one team has to lose, one team has to win. And I hope that, Benedict will come out victorious and we will be champions of the 2022 season.
Well, we certainly wish you luck, Coach. Good luck.
Thank you very much.
Number 7, the captain, Tariq Lee.
Thank you very much to the manager of St. Benedict's College. We also spoke to a member of the coaching staff of Fatima College, and this is what he had to say.
Number 8, Darrell Garcia.
Elated. School is happy. Zone is happy.
Big occasion, Coach. How does it feel right now? Describe it.
Elated. School is happy. Zone is happy. I am personally happy. So can't wait to get the game started at 3:30 and let's get the ball rolling.
You've met this team before. What are you planning to do differently?
Nothing differently, except this time get only 3 points that we need to carry the trophy back home.
Thank you very much, Coach.
You're
Good luck.
welcome.
Thank you very much to the man known as Bison in the Fatima College coaching staff. Let's talk a little bit more about Fatima College.
Well, no, I think, you look at a little guy, I think, and Brent loves Alcantara in the middle. He's a guy breaking up everything in front of the back four, and his distribution is good. He's not the kind of midfielder that holds onto the ball. He picks it up, distributes one time. So I think Fatima's got a solid team, both defensively and in the midfield. What Fatima may need to do is to take their chances. They are not as prolific in front of goal as St. Benedict's.
All right, Brent, what is your take?
Well, I think one of the things we haven't highlighted is the Fatima College coaching staff. They have set out different tactical plans throughout this series, and their team has nailed it. San Juan, the semi-finals against San Juan North in particular, we saw that evident. They weren't pretty, guys, but they were effective, and they were effective in shutting down both Sween and of course Noel, which allowed them the victory. So give kudos to the Fatima College staff for implementing being brave, because it's difficult when dealing with young kids to focus, but they've been good so far, and that's why they're here in the final.
And of course the coaches have done an excellent job. Here's what's going on. In a short while we find out who is going to walk home with the trophy of the Tiger Tank Secondary Schools Football League Premiership Division here at the Atto Boland Stadium. St. Benedict's College versus Fatima College. We'll be right back.
boys from La Romaine take on the boys from Mucurapo Road in the Tiger Tanks SSFL Premiership Final. St. Benedict's College versus Fatima College. Welcome back to the Attobolam Stadium, where we get ready for an exciting match. With me now is sports journalist James Saunders. Now, James, quick question. What are some of your thoughts on today's fixture?
Well, first, I must say it's an electric atmosphere. It's a school war utopia. This is the kind of stuff that keeps school footballers awake at night, dreaming of this big moment. It's been a long time since these teams have gotten to a final. 1967, if you pull out the history book, and you get way back. So they're coming together, they're fresh. Just the last time that they would have met or played in this competition, Fatima was in the second division, Benedict in the Premiership, finishing about mid-table. But now, both teams unbeaten, both teams on a road for glory, and only one can end the Cinderella. One will have their glass slipper broken.
Thank you so much, James. Now, when the Premiership is over, there is still a lot of football to be played, including girls and boys championships as well as intercall. Now, speaking on the topic of girls football, the Trinidad and Tobago Football Association would have hosted Girls Play Festival at the Hazley Crawford Stadium, which attracted 100 young ones between the ages of 7 to 12 years old. The girls were engaged in coaching drills and games facilitated by the TTFA technical staff and members of the Women's Under-15 High Performance Team. Girls Play is a FIFA initiative funded by its Women's Football Campaign, which aims to introduce the beautiful game to empower young girls through football and in a friendly and safe environment. The Girls Play Caravan continues on December 3rd in Tobago at the Dwight York Stadium. So, folks, right about now, we are going to throw it over to Colin Murray and Brent Sancho.
Well, we're just about getting ready here for this super final between the North versus South, Fatima College and St. Benedict's College. What a final is in store for us. A very offensive, dynamic, attacking St. Benedict's and the very conservative Fatima team. Players that play for the team, they're well organized, they're well structured, they're not as attacking as St. Benedict's, but they're well organized. I'm Colin Murray alongside Brent Sancho. Brent, what a final we have in store for us.
Yeah, we do have a final that on paper suggests that it should be an intriguing encounter. Remember, these two teams have gone undefeated so far throughout the season, coming from the same group. One thing we have seen is the contrasting styles. Fatima College, a more team focus in terms of their way, style, tactical belief within the coaches, and how they, of course, put themselves about the pitch. St. Benedict's College, an explosion of talent, of array of varying types of players that have been pleasing on the eye and certainly have set this SSFL Tiger Tanks SSFL alight, and you would expect them, of course, to do so here at the big stage. Both schools, of course, have not won in a very, very long time, and this is their chance to, of course, put their names on the trophy.
Well, we're just awaiting the teams to enter the fray, and once the teams enter the fray, it should be really huge here. So we're just awaiting what they're playing for today, the secondary Tiger Tank Secondary Schools League trophy. The officials coming out, and followed by the two teams, St. Benedict's in green, Fatima College in blue shorts. There is an overhead shot here at the Attobolam Stadium, and the covered area already packed out here. And we should have a really good encounter between these two teams. Will it be the offensive St. Benedict's, or could it be the very conservative Fatima? We'll have to wait and see. So the team is being introduced to the special guest. Of course, the president, Mireri Gonzalez, is there together with the Honorable Minister of Education, Dr. Nian Gas. No, she's not there actually, but they are representative of the Ministry of Education. Of course, it's Mr. Dennis Latif, the Tiger Tanks representative, regional manager. Then we have Mr. Kwan Kip of the principal of St. Benedict's and Mr. Brooks, who is the Form 1 Dean of Fatima College. So there is Mireri Gonzalez, the president, leading the entourage, followed by Mr. Latif, Mr. Dennis Latif, the regional manager of Tiger Tanks, the sponsors of the 2022 Secondary Schools League. The principal, Trudy, also the other lady there in black is a representative from First Citizens. Trudy Luzon is the other representative there from First Citizen, and of course we have Mr. Brooks from Fatima, the Form 1 Dean, and Mr. Kwan Kip, who is the principal of St. Benedict's. So there we have the national anthem of Trinidad and Tobago, and we should be seeing kickoff shortly. Gentlemen, as I welcome James Saunders with us. James, we're talking a little bit, very contrasted styles here. You have a very offensive St. Benedict, where you've got a little bit more conservative Fatima, well structured, well organized. And there is the officials. Before we get a comment from James, Crystal Sobers is the referee. There's Ainsley Rochard, Kirk Charles, and Quincy Williams is the fourth official. Yeah, so as we were talking a little bit, James, about the offense of St. Benedict's as opposed to the more conservative style of Fatima.
Yeah, very good in transition. That's a word that you've heard Randolph Boyce, the coach of St. Benedict's College, use quite often. They're a quick team in transition, and they like to play on the counter offensive. Fatima, however, well-balanced team. They like to keep possession, and they remain tight, and they can absorb lots of pressure. So it's going to be interesting to see that clash of styles as they come together, but I think it's going to come down to who makes the least amount of mistakes.
Well, let's have a look at the lineups. Edwards in goal, Skipper Bailey, Noons, Atherton, Williams, Romani, Alcantara, Time Williams is back, Gigans, Mason is also back in the lineup, and Hospitales. The coach, Hudson Baba Charles. Well, let's have a look at the formation, bro.
Well, they've been very fluid in their tactical approach to games, but expect Alcantara to get some support from Romani and Times. The Gans is going to float and play in that number 10 role. Bailey and Williams, tricky customers out flank, and of course, the ever impressive Hospitales and Noons bombing on from the wing back position.
So there is the Fatima formation, and let's have a look. There is St. Benedict's. Just posing for their photos, but let's have a look at their starting lineup. Devnish in goal. There's skipper Tariq Lee, Alexander, Bobcom, Brown, Dimas, Garcia, Morian, Morris, Niles, and Ochoa, and the coach Randolph Boyce. Let's have a look at their formation, how they line up.
They have used this 4-3-3 formation to great effect. Garcia, Lee and Bob come explosive in transition. Ochoa, Brong and Niles. Niles, of course, we know can come out on the side, on the wings, and of course cause some danger. The back four stays home most times. As in Benedict's college team that is well comfortable in their skin.
Well, we're just about ready to get going here. St. Benedict's have the kickoff, and we'll just have to wait and see how this final goes. I expect to see a very offensive St. Benedict's as they get the final going. Long ball. Hospitalis is giving chase, and he's going to play it up the line looking for Bailey. Morris is there, and ball goes out of play, and it's going to be a throw for Fatima. So Fatima starting with Hospitalis, Alterton, Jaden Williams, and Nunes in their back four. So Hospitalis is going to take this throw.
It's going to be interesting, guys, to see where Alcantara picks himself up in terms of where he positions himself. He was very influential in the San Juan North game in the semi-finals in terms of his positional, where he picked up his varying positions defensively. Just wonder where they're going to ask him to play today, because of course the front three for St. Benedict's, as we know, is quite explosive.
Well, it's going to be a throw for Fatima, so they've made some movement up that right side. Hospitalis is going to take the throw again. Sit there to Bailey, back to Hospitalis. So Fatima again, another throw. Getting it to Higans, back to Hospitalis. Trying to turn, looking for Bailey, but he seems to be in an offside position. Yes, he is, and it's going to be a free kick for St. Benedict. All the way back to goalkeeper Devonish. Gets it to Alexander. Morian. Turns well with it. Slips it to Bobcom. He can't keep it in, and it's going to be a throw for Fatima.
Well, already we see some early pressure.
Nunes coming up to take the throw. Of course, Nunes scoring the winner in the semi-final, Brent.
Yeah, it's a very clever customer, Nunes, what he does. I think I was curious as to where Fatima College would drop their line of confrontation. They were suggesting that they may have sat a bit deeper, but they certainly haven't. They seem to want to press St. Benedict's quite high up the park.
It's Alcantara playing the ball wide, getting it to Williams. This is Nunes trying to play Romani in, but across comes Alexander, plays it out. It's going to be a throw for Fatima. So they've started quite confidently, haven't they?
Well, they certainly have, and they're not afraid to press the boost and see if any golden eggs come out.
Well, here is ball goes out. It's going to be another throw for Fatima.
He spoke, Colin, about nerves in the build-up of this game, and I do agree with you. You just wonder the factor that would play in this game. Both teams, as we've mentioned in the build-up, it's been a while since they've won something for them schools, and they have quite huge turnout of support here for them. I just wonder if that pressure is going to lead to, of course, mistakes that may cost them the game. That's late, that tackle.
That's a tough tackle coming in. Referee blowed for the foul. And he's gone over to have a word with, looks like the Gans who put in that tough tackle. Player is down at the moment. But Fatima so far have been really taking the game to St. Benedict's. They're not showing the kind of nerves that one might have expected.
Yeah, I think really this one is going to come down to who makes the least amount of errors. It's a huge occasion, and it's going to come down to who's up to the most at the moment.
I think the combination of that and, of course, the nerves that Colin mentioned in the build-up could be a factor. It's a game that's calling out for a hero. It really is. It's both teams, of course, played each other earlier to a 1-1 draw. I know one of the coaches mentioned to me that it was the first game of the season and there were some nerves in that one. In fact, both coaches said that. So you just wonder if now going into this big occasion, will nerves play a part again?
Well, here is a long ball looking to get that Niles going. Sends it in field. Picked up here by Williams. Gets it upfield to Mason. The Gans has to go back to Hospitalis. Alcantara back to Hospitalis. Comes all the way across to Williams. Set to Atherton. Hospitalis. Fatima building slowly from the back. Hospitalis trying to get it up to Bailey. Doesn't find the mark. Goes out of play. It's going to be a throw for St. Benedict's. It's about 5 minutes gone. No goalkeeper has really had a shot to deal with us yet. It's been a lot of midfield play. This is Tariq Lee. Every time he gets in the ball, you get excited. He gets it to Morian. Back to Lee. But it's picked up here by Williams. That's Kyle Williams. Alcantara. Niles intercepts but gives it right towards Mason. He's looking to go forward with it. Intercepted by Walcott. Sorry, by Morris. He plays it in field. This is Morian trying to look for Bobcom. It's won back by Fatima. Nunes. The Gans couldn't collect it. Bobcom gets it back to Morian. Goes back to Alexander. The ball into the middle to Lee. Morris plays that ball forward. This is Lee again. Morris. Wide is Niles. Hospitalis nips in. Gets a throw for St. Benedict's.
I had the opportunity, guys, to take a bit of a stroll on the pitch before the game, and although it looks very lush and green, it's still quite slippery. It's wet. The surface is wet. It's not as mushy as we've seen in the past, but it's certainly wet, and I do think footwear may come into play. As already we're seeing players struggling a bit to hold their footing.
Well, the first shot from St. Benedict's coming from Niles, but easily dealt with by goalkeeper Edwards. Morris looking to get Niles involved, but Hospitalis intercepts. It's going to be a throw for St. Benedict's. Really nice crowd here at the Atto Bolden Stadium. Both teams very well supported. As this is Morian. Chips it forward, looking for Bobcom. He's on the charge. Nunes is going to get there before him. Turns well with it. Gets it to Williams. He loses out. He has to go back to the other Williams. Jaden Williams. Plays it forward to Romani. That's a bad pass, and it's won by Benedict. Here comes Garcia with a shot. Goes over the bar.
Thought he could have advanced it a bit more. Was a bit eager to take the shot. Garcia, of course, a goal scorer the last time we've seen St. Benedict's play against Presentation College. Good goal at that as well. But a bit eager there, James.
Here's Alcantara. Nice looking ball for Bailey, who's giving chase. Bailey gets there before Morris. He's looking to turn the defender. Still, Bailey gets it back towards the Gans. He has to go back to Hospitalis. Ball inside, looking there for Williams, and he misses it. It's picked up by Bobcom. He's got a lot of space in front of him. Chips it down. Nunes doesn't collect it well. This is Garcia. Morian. Long ball, but Edwards is going to get there before anybody else. So in fact, Williams just playing it back to Edwards. Gets it to Atherton. Alcantara. Back to Atherton. He gives it away as Morris coming forward for St. Benedict's. Plays a really good ball. This is Ochoa. Gets it to Lee. They're coming in there looking for that. This is still Lee in possession. He's trying to turn for the shot. And eventually it's cleared away. And Hospitalis is going to come away with it. And the referee has awarded a penalty. Well. Was it a foul, Brent? We'll have to get a look at that. Bobcom was coming in and suddenly he went down, and I'm not too sure what transpired there, but it appears that referee Sobers has awarded a penalty to St. Benedict's.
Well, that came out of nowhere, didn't it? Might have been a handball, maybe. I'm not quite sure. We'll have to look at that again.
Now Bobcom went down. Now I'm not sure if he was pushed in the process or maybe it was a handball. But Bobcom went down, and when we'll have to have a look at it again. And maybe.
Well, the challenge I have is that the play proceeded and it went on. So it was not an advantage, unless it was you can't give an advantage. I'm not sure about that side of it, but if it was a penalty, I'm just looking at the time of the infringement compared to when the whistle was blown. Here we have a better look at it as Bobcom goes in there. I'm not sure.
Was he hauled down?
The point is, the play continued, and it's not until about 4 or 5 seconds after, unless the linesman may have flagged, the penalty was called.
Well, it's a penalty here, and it seems to be Garcia coming up against Edwards. What a matchup, and he saves it. Well, Edwards is turning out to be not just a hero, a superhero. He saved them in the semi-final, and he's already made a top-class save here. You have to say it wasn't a great penalty, but still, penalties, the keepers, you got to save it.
Yeah, he got his body behind it, and he was very confident that he would have made a save. And give the man credit, he's continuing on the heroics that we saw from San Juan North game. It's a good save by the young man. Yes, wasn't the best of penalties, but he saved it nevertheless. I'm sure my good friend James Saunders, who spent some time between the sticks, would agree with me there.
Yeah, I think he was the least under pressure in that situation. The old jelly bean legs coming out, and unfortunately the young player just couldn't find the far corner.
Well, here comes St. Benedict's. Garcia, you could see when he missed the penalty, his head was down. He's got to forget that and play on. This is Williams. That's a good ball. Devnish did well. Came out very quickly indeed.
I think in a situation like that, Colin Murray, there's always less pressure on the goalkeeper. You've got less to lose in a situation like that compared to the young Garcia with an opportunity in the final to put his team ahead and pull this contest away. And I just think he fell to the pressure.
That's so good. Yes, and that rivalry between Garcia and Edwards continuing. Remember, Garcia said in the semi-final, after the semi-final, that they would have preferred to meet Saint-War because they have a better side than Fatima. And Edwards responded by saying, "We're coming for you." So here is Fatima in possession with Romani. Gets it to Williams. He plays the ball looking for Decans. Williams gets it back inadvertently. Looks for the shot. That's a good tackle from Brown. Given right back to Nunes of Fatima. This is Williams. Decans turns with it. Gets it to Alcantara. Spreads it, but not a good ball. But it's Hospitalis is going to take the throw for Fatima. Gets it in field to Romani. Back to Hospitalis. This is Alcantara. Has to spread it, but backward pass towards Nunes. Chips that ball forward. That's not a bad looking ball. This could be a chance here for Bailey. Bailey fighting for it. Actually, that is not Bailey. Let's see. That's Romani getting up in an advanced position.
Well, is that the rooster that this game needed? It needed to be waking up and shaken up. And how about that? A missed penalty, a big save to rile everybody up. And I just think that Fatima at the moment are taking advantage, full advantage of that.
So So it's going to be a goal kick for St. Benedict's as they come away with it. Morian in possession. Plays it forward, looking for Garcia. Sends that ball down the line. That's a good ball. Bobcom is on his way. There goes Bobcom. That's a good tackle from Williams, Jaden Williams. Excellent tackle. And this is Nunes fighting with Garcia. Garcia comes out the winner. Plays it back to Morian. Gets it to Alexander. This is Dimas. Away comes Alexander. Long balls for Bobcom. Is he going to keep it in? Yes, he does. Looking to take on Nunes. Gets past Nunes. And cleared away by Williams. Bobcom goes down in the process. So it's going to be a throw for St. Benedict's. There is Bobcom.
It's a good bit of skill by the number 10 for St. Benedict's, Bobcom. But Noon stood strong. I know, Colin, you're still not sure whether it was a shot or a cross.
No, I'm not. And the most important thing, it went in the goal. And who cares at that point in time? And he will tell you, actually, a good neighbor of mine, friend, said he scored a goal like that about 50 years ago in an intercall game, and he was about 35 yards out, and up to this day he says he took a shot, definitely.
Most people that take crosses, they do say that.
Here's a good ball from Alcantara, but it's intercepted by Morian. Romani. Alcantara, he's in the thick of things again, spreading that ball. I think but this is Hospitalis on the go, overlapping at that right back position. Gets it in field towards Mason. This is the Gans looking for the shot. Duke Joe's just wide. A goal kick for St. Benedict's. They should have taken the lead, but the penalty by Darrell Garcia was saved by goalkeeper Tristan Edwards. And this is St. Benedict's on the go again. Intercepted here by Fatima as they come away with it through Romani. Does well. Mason looking to make the run. He gives it away. Luckily he gets it back. Romani still fighting for it here. And eventually St. Benedict's clear it downfield. Lee was in an offside position, never turned to try to get the ball. Goes all the way back to goalkeeper Tristan Edwards. Williams. This is Jaden Williams. Long ball forward, looking for Mason. Does find Mason. Does well, turns with it, gives it back to Chaim Williams. A throw for Fatima. Of course, the referee today's game, the very experienced Crystal Sobers. This is Nunes, does well. Is it going to be a cross or a shot? This time I think it's definitely a cross, but nobody was on the end to meet it.
You sure about that, Colin?
Definitely sure that was a cross. It's going to be a throw for Fatima. Intercepted there by Ochoa. This is Alcantara. Likes how he spreads the ball, Brent. Does a really good job.
He's a thoughtful player, both offensively and defensively. He's aware of his surroundings, which makes a good number 6 that sits in right in front of the back four, and always have that 6 spider sense that we call it.
When I coached Fatima, his father, Jason Alcantara, played for Fatima, but he wasn't as good as his son.
I'm sure he probably said that about...
Sorry, Jason, my apologies.
Jason might have said that about the coach.
Yeah, it's the coach's fault, isn't it? So it's going to be a throw for Fatima. Intercepted here by Brown. Sent back up by Jaden Williams. Garcia leaves it for Bobcom. Ball goes right across, intercepted by Bailey. Okay, luckily he gets it back, gives it to DeGans. To the outside of his boot, looking for Bailey, who was making that run. Comes all the way back to DeGans. Again, he's gives it away. A lot of the passing so far, guys, a little bit off target. But here goes Bobcom, but out comes Edwards. Yeah, a lot of the passing, guys, if you probably have to have one criticism, a lot of the passing a little bit wayward.
Yeah, I think that's the nerves that I was talking about earlier on. It tends to happen in a big finals, big crowd, big expectation. And I think the team that settles to the rhythm quickly and settles to the equation will be the team that will come out on top in this one.
This is Alexander going forward with it. Again, an errant pass. Just not finding their range with the passes at the moment. And we've been playing now for 20 and a half minutes. But here goes Lee. Every time he gets the ball, he looks to charge forward. This is a good ball for Bailey. He's got some space in front of him, but Morris comes back to put in the challenge. And they give the ball away again. This is Niles. Ball comes off of the guns. Hospitalis picks it up. But he's going to play it right across towards Jaden Williams. Atherton. Long ball for the speedy Bailey. He's got behind Morris. Didn't control it all that well. Had he controlled it, he could have been in. Looking to get the cross in. No, he plays it to the Gans. Back to Bailey. Morris comes to put in the challenge. He's looking to play a 1-2 with the Gans. And Morris is going to, for one moment, I thought he would allow the ball to go outside and plays it to the Gans. He sends it in. Eventually cleared away by Brown. Picked up by Nunes. Is he going to look for the shot? Yes, he looks for the shot on that occasion. But it was nowhere close to the power pack shots we've seen from him, both against Speyside and against Samoa in the semi-final.
Yeah, I think it came down to poor decision making in the end. Not because they've got the entire buffet means that you have to go for the biggest spy. Certainly created a lot of space himself. He did have some room. Maybe he could have made better use of that room to pick out a pass or get closer to goal where he might have had a better shot.
So a corner for Fatima. Corner goes deep and goalkeeper Devonish luckily gets an hand to it. Or should I say not luckily, but did well getting a hand to it and clearing the danger. But here comes Fatima. There's a player down. It seems to be Romani is down in the box. And the referee has called a halt to proceedings. So we'll see. I think it's Romani down. Seemed to have got a little bit of a knock when a player was coming out of the ball.
Well, there were shouts for a penalty from a few of the Fatima players that were close to Romani. You know, I looked at James here and we both watched at each other. Maybe a bit of a hit there. Certainly,
yeah.
Another look at it would obviously clarify it.
Yikes. Well, I think you might be able to shout if that's the case, if that's the picture that was painted.
So we just want to have a look at that replay when how Romani went down and why did he go down. We'll just have a look at that as he's up going off the field. It's St. Benedict's players just going back into their position.
Here's another look at it, guys. Look at this tackle by Niles. Tell you what.
Yeah, that's very interesting.
Yeah, well.
I'm not sure.
And I'm putting context to the first penalty that was given by, of course, for Fatima. Again, I'm not suggesting either wasn't all were, but they look quite similar if you ask me.
Well, was he protecting the ball because the ball had gone past him?
Well, he didn't have possession of the ball to protect it. And I must reiterate that, of course, we have the opportunity to see it from many different angles.
Well, here goes Mason. Seems to have come off of him, and it's going to be a goal kick for St. Benedict's.
I know we are normally inundated with text messages and of course people coming in and over the last couple of games we've had some debatable calls, but it's a difficult, of course, job being a referee and official. They have that split second to make that decision. We have, of course,
we can look 3 and 4 and 5 times a bit, Brent.
And we have
sometimes we're still not sure.
I'm still not sure. And we have some of the best cameramen and producers in the entire country, maybe even the Caribbean.
Well, here goes Bobcom. Looking for Lee. This is danger here. And that's excellent defending by Hospitalis. Excellent on his part. He came across from a right back position, came centrally and was able to clear that ball out. But Bobcom making a beauty of a run and playing it inside, looking for Lee. And Lee was in, had it not been for Hospitalis.
Yeah, it's a good through ball there by Bobcom. But that's what you want from your wing back. When the players on the other side, the weak side wing back almost serves as a sweeper. And that's what he certainly did. Hospitalis was alert to it. And of course we know how prolific Lee can be in front of goal.
Well, here is the corner.
Be a goal. I can't believe
heads went up, but really and truly, it seemed to come off the head of Garcia, and he wasn't challenged. Goes all the way back to goalkeeper Devnish.
Well, he had a free header in the box, really.
Yeah.
Which I'm surprised he didn't hit the target.
Seemed to just slide off his head. This is Alcantara looking for Hospitalis. Hospitalis does well. Gets it back to Alcantara. Plays it to Nunes.
That's a good pass.
Excellent pass to Williams. Couldn't get past Bobcom, and in fact it comes off of Williams. And it's going to be a throw for St. Benedict's. It's going to be Morian with the throw. Goes all the way back to Alexander. Gets it to Dimas. Plays a long ball. Looking for Ochoa. Headed away by Atherton. It's going to be a throw for St. Benedict's. No goals yet here at the Atto Bolden Stadium. This is the Tiger Tanks Secondary Schools League Final between St. Benedict's College and Fatima College. Been a very cagey affair so far. Both these teams very intent on being good defensively, being well organized, and not giving any room to any of the opposing players. There is the crowd, really a wonderful crowd in. A lot of schoolboys there coming from Fatima College and also from St. Benedict's. The ball cleared upfield, looking to get it to Mason. He's beaten to it and goes all the way back to Morian. Plays a long ball, looking for Ochoa. Atherton is there, does well. Plays it back upfield. Brong heads it forward towards Garcia, but it's won by Romani. But Garcia does well, gets it back, has a crack from distance. Got to take something special to beat that young man, Tristan Edwards. Gets it out to the Gans, who isn't controlling it. Garcia gets it to Lee. Lee looking to have the shot, gets the rebound, heads it on, and Niles looking to get in.
Tell you what, Edwards did well there. I just wondered if the ball had slowed up, of course, getting back to him, but he was quick off of his line and made no mistake about that. Game started to become a bit stretched here, and St. Benedict's would probably like it that way, especially with the type of players they have at their exposure. One like this kid here.
Well, Brong sends it to Niles. looking to get to the byline, but he's challenged by Hospitalis.
Well
He does
defended.
very well.
Well defended again. Kept his eye on his ball. How many times we've seen Niles in that position and would have pulled off some fancy trick.
This young Hospitalis has done well. He's caught the eye. Tends to, when Fatima has possession, tends to go down the line, overlapping.
It's been a nervy performance by both teams so far, but Hospitalis in particular has stood out from a Fatima perspective. Of course, the captain Lee, but St. Benedict's the other.
Here goes Bailey. Well done by Ochoa. Morian. Bobcom does well. Turns his man. Picked up by Garcia. Being challenged there by Digans. Comes in field. Looking to get it to... This is Lee. Lee plays it to Niles. This could be an opportunity here. He looks to come back in field. And finally it's cleared away.
Should have shot.
I thought he was going to shoot
it.
Yeah.
I'm surprised that he even tried to cut back into his right foot there. Had every opportunity to smack it with his left. So Benedict started to turn the screws, gents.
Yes, it's going to be a corner for St. Benedict's. Yeah, they're getting more and more into the game, and a lot of the players, James, finding that room in which to maneuver.
Yeah, St. Benedict's, they're a team like transition football. The more stretched that the pitch is, they find more spaces for their quick wide men to get in behind. And, well, Fatima, maybe a bit of fatigue on the legs at the moment, but they're giving him that space and that room, and they've got to be careful.
Well, it's going to be Tariq Lee. It's going to take the corner, the skipper. Of 6 green shirts in the box. Heading towards Garcia. But it now comes to Morian. Has the shot. Comes off the outside of his boot. And goes behind. It's going to be a goal kick for Fatima. Just about 31 minutes gone. Still, we await the first goal here at the Atto Boland Stadium. No real clear-cut chances, guys. Of course, except that penalty that St. Benedict should have scored.
Yeah, it's an opportunity that they might be ruining if half-time remains as is. Just to add to my earlier point as well, Colin Murray, why the game has become a bit more efficient for St. Benedict's College. Fatima College, their strength has been their compactness and their togetherness. When you start having players isolated against the individual talent of St. Benedict's College, that's where you're playing into dangerous territory.
Well, here is Williams, plays it out, and it's going to be a throw for Benedict's. Of course, these two teams already, having met once in the league, game was drawn 1-1. So Niles looking to play it back towards Morris. It's pinched here by Bailey. Looking to turn with it, but Morris comes back, puts in a good effective tackle. And a little bit of a mix-up there between Alcantara and Romani. And Niles, free outside. Is he going to look for the shot? Or is he going to get the cross in? This is Lee! This is Lee! That's a goal!
Terrific! Absolutely terrific!
St. Benedict's have scored here in the 33rd minute. Tariq Lee! But he was made by Niles. The ball was played to him. He played it inside to Lee. Lee went round the defender and he tucked it away from the keeper into the corner of the net. And St. Benedict's take the lead in the 33rd minute. Tariq Lee.
And this is the isolated moments here. This man, he's as cool as a polar bear in the Arctic when he's 1v1. Defender stood not a chance. Glided past him better than a tram rail line. And look at that for a finish. That's the kind of quality that Tariq Lee possesses. And that's the kind of quality that you don't give him space to do what he just did. And that's the reason why Fatima find themselves shielding.
So St. Benedict's, Brent, you made the point. St. Benedict started to turn the gas on.
Well, I just wonder if it's a bit of fatigue. It's quite humid out here. It's actually it's very hot. And you look at the type of work that Fatima has been doing collectively. They've been harrying, they've been shutting spaces down and playing quite compact, as James has mentioned. But over the last 5 minutes or so, they seem to have fatigue and then finding themselves in 1v1 situation. And you can't allow Lee in those sorts of situations in the box as he goes off again.
Here's Lee again. He's looking for the shot. Gives it across the Garcia. This is Garcia. Oh, that's a brilliant save. Brilliant
at 6s and 7, guys. The Fatima team, they need the halftime.
Yeah, they've lost it, haven't they? They're all over the place now. They've lost the shape totally.
Yeah, the shape's gone, the concentration. It's that man Lee again, being down on goal, slips it off to Garcia, who has the left-footed shot saved by Edwards, and the rebound comes back out to Lee, who just shuts it wide. Edwards remonstrated with his back four,
And he's right.
and he's right. I think Coach Hudson Charles would do anything to hear that halftime whistle now.
Well, there's still a long way to go. At 10.5 minutes to go to half, plus added on time. And Fatima will do well just to keep this lead by St. Benedict's to 1 goal. Get in at half time and get some instructions from the coach, because right now they're under some pressure. Long ball played, it's with Atherton. Gets it towards Hospitalis, back to Atherton. This is Jaden Williams. Nunes. Gets it to Williams, just as Kaim Williams. Well won by Morian. Here goes St. Benedict's again. That's good defending from...
Poor option, Colin. He had Bob come with a bit more real estate.
That's right.
Than Lee.
Lee had two defenders on him.
With him, of course. As I said, they're really starting to warm up to the task now, St. Benedict's. This is where Fatima College has to put their foot on the ball and try to possess it for a bit, try to take the sting out of the match. Because St. Benedict's is starting to turn up the heat. The Lions, Colin.
Yep.
The Golden Lions from La Romaine.
Golden Lions from La Romaine.
So the presentation Lions are... They're not golden, are they?
Oh, no, they're not. They're not golden.
But they are Lions.
Yeah, but they're not golden. So this is Tariq Lee again. Oh, he's up, proving to be a menace. Gets it to Garcia. Looking to play it inside towards Bobcom, and it's cleared away. Lee is down in the meantime. Took a little bit of a knock. They'd want to make sure he's okay. So there is the shot earlier from Garcia. Was an excellent save from, wasn't that an excellent save from Edwards?
Certainly was. Game-winning save as well. As if they can find a goal to get back on level pegging, at least Fatima College. But you need your goalkeeper in situations like this to be solid. Sometimes the goalkeeper can be the difference in a major final.
And he is solid. We've seen Edwards in the last couple of games. Didn't have much to do against, well, he was put off against St. Anthony's. Didn't have much to do against Speyside. Was brilliant against Sanborn North. So we know he's a good keeper, and he's an under-20 keeper as well.
At the national level,
yeah. So Lee getting some treatment, and
there's a lot of conversation there in the Fatima huddle. It happens, Colin. Once a team, of course, has worked their socks off to close another team down, fatigue will be a factor. And that's simply what's happened here for Fatima College. We talked about the potency of St. Benedict's College, the type of players they have, and how they can hurt you. And it's only a matter of time, as Jay's mentioned. Once they get you into 1v1 situations, they are very, very dangerous.
Well, here is the throw. Cleared up field, but only as far as Bobcom. Picked up, in fact, by Bailey, who has come over onto this left side now.
Now, Colin, I think maybe Brent can chime in here as well. I think a bit of naivety would have gotten to Fatima College as well. They started this match with a very high press on St. Benedict's College. The periodization and the game management would have gone out of the door. There were periods of the game where they could have managed their energy better. And that's why I think that they're a bit winded now at this point of the game, because they tried to press too high for too long and not manage better.
Well, here is the throw. And here goes Bailey in possession. And eventually it's going to be cleared downfield. And this is Garcia on the go. Looking to play Lee inside. Lee gets it. Gets the better of Hospitalis. That's a very good tackle, I tell you what. We see the Minister of Education has arrived, guys. So all the dignitaries are here. Minister of Education, James Saunders,
You're going to be in the best behavior now.
It's going to be a goal kick for St. Benedict's. It's great to see dignitaries like the Minister.
Of the Secondary School Football League, Dr. Honorable Diane Minister of Education, now present.
It's always great to see a minister here, especially in this type of atmosphere. Brent?
Yeah, it's really been a spectacular turnout. We wondered a game on a Wednesday, Colin, and not a Saturday, whether or not you'd get the type of turnout. Of course, school, Central Trinidad, and of course even the old boys having work. But that has not stopped any of them. And as you rightfully said, Colin, credit to both schools. We've seen buses come in their droves of students coming in to support, and these kids don't deserve anything better than that. They've been outstanding throughout the season. These two teams in particular, I think all the teams, but these two teams have to be given special notice as we get a beautiful shot of the Atto Boldon Stadium. Looking at the patronage here, I tell you what, Colin, good luck leaving here this afternoon.
Oh my word.
May as well tailgate.
Yeah, well, here is Digans. Loses out as St. Benedict's. Lee trying to turn his man. Wasn't successful. Picked up by Digans. Gets it towards Mason. Digans trying to go over onto this near side to Bailey. Actually, Bailey does get the rebound now. Running at the St. Benedict's defenders. Confronted by Morian. Comes off of Morian. And it's going to be a throw for St. Benedict's. So just about 4 minutes left to the half, and whatever added on time there will be. Ball goes back to goalkeeper Devonish. This is Dimas. Searching ball, looking for Ochoa. Niles. Gives it away to Alcantara. This is Romani. Looking for some support.
I think that's where Fatima struggled. They're transitioning from defense to offense. They just haven't gotten the numbers.
That's right,
in
going
support.
Forward. Yeah.
Really troubles St. Benedict's. If they can, of course, get those numbers up there, maybe they could threaten St. Benedict's. But it hasn't happened.
You're so right, Brent, because you could see Romani looking around for support, and he wasn't getting it.
Yeah, it's almost at snail pace.
So here is Morris, decides to kick it way out. So the ball thrown down to Ochoa. Heads it out, and it's going to be a throw for Fatima. Just about 2 minutes to go to the half. This is Bailey. Allows it to go out. It's going to be a throw for Fatima. Gets it to Mason. Back to Bailey. Going to get the crossing. No, he decides to go to Nunes. This is Alcantara. Goes back towards Jaden Williams. Hospitalis. Does well. Looks to get it to Romani. Didn't collect it. And once you don't collect that, and the St. Benedict's defenders will just allow it to run out of play. So St. Benedict's leading 1-0. The goal coming in the 33rd minute from skipper Tariq Lee. as the ball sent out. It's going to be a throw for Fatima. Nunes looking for the Gans. That's a good ball to Bailey. Bailey looking to take on Morian. Does well, does Bailey. Is he going for the shot? Yes, he goes for it, but never got over the ball. Good play on the part of the Fatima skipper, Christian Bailey. Got inside of the defenders. You could see him looking for the shot, but the ball was sort of just stuck under him, and he was leaning back, trying to get the power into the shot.
Yeah, did everything right. Didn't get the final execution though. Just lost his composure. Slippage of the legs, got into a great position, and that's where you got to be cool. Unfortunately for him, wow, the thermometer is off the chart.
Well, here is Morian. Ochoa making that run going down the line. Jaden Williams goes with him. Does well. Can't keep it in though. It's going to be a throw for St. Benedict's.
Just feel, guys, that St. Benedict's has another gear in them. They just haven't been able to find it. That's another beautiful shot there of the Atto Boldon Stadium.
Really good crowd as well, Brent. Even the uncovered areas next to the covered section is starting to fill up. Well. You're right, I don't think we can get out of here this evening. This is a ball over on the far side to Niles.
That was ambitious.
Yep, very. But Hospitalis gives it back to them as Brong trying to play that long ball forward.
That's good goalkeeping again. Alert.
So just 2 minutes of added on time. You already played 40 seconds of that. I think both teams now just waiting for the halftime whistle. This is Bailey. Nunes. Back to Bailey. Gets it to Alcantara. Nunes. Making that run going up the line is Mason, but across comes Alexander. It's going to be a throw for Fatima. So we're in the final 30 seconds. There is the St. Benedict's coach, Randolph Boyce, and another wonderful shot here of the facility at the Atto Boldon Stadium, as this is Nunes. Plays it in field to Alcantara. Goes for the shot, but from distance, you would think that wouldn't trouble Devonish, who was just palming it down. And the long ball forward, but the referee Crystal sobers his whistle goal to indicate that it's half-time here at the Atto Boldon Stadium, and it's 1-0. St. Benedict's lead at the half, a goal from Tariq Lee in the 33rd minute. They did miss a penalty earlier than that, but it's 1-0 here at the Atto Boldon Stadium at the half. St. Benedict's, they lead Fatima by that solitary goal coming from their skipper, Tariq Lee.
It's a little housekeeping. We are asking all those patrons who are standing on the stairwell. They stand please clear the area.
Welcome back here to the Atto Bolden Stadium. It's half-time and it's St. Benedict's, the Golden Lands, they lead against the Mukarapa boys, Fatima, by 1-0. The goal scored by Tariq Lee in the 33rd minute. Let's have a look at the highlights of the first half. So there is the referee, Crystal Sobers, getting the action underway. And St. Benedict's were getting a penalty in the 12th minute. And Garcia, who took the penalty, it was saved by the Edwards. And Fatima started to get back into the game. A shot from the Gans, wide of the target. And here was St. Benedict's on the attack again. Garcia with a long-range shot that really didn't trouble Edwards. And this is Niles coming in field, getting it to Lee, and Lee taking on Atherton, getting round him and placing it beautifully away from the keeper in the 33rd minute to give St. Benedict's the lead by 1-0. Here was Garcia now, another good shot but a brilliant save from Edwards. The rebound went to Lee, he hit it wide. And St. Benedict certainly was in control of the game at this point in time, but Bailey making a good run, but the ball was slightly just behind him. He had to try and hook it around, was leaning back, and the ball went high over the bar. So that was the highlights of the first half. Let's have a look at the stats, James.
Well, we got to see all of the eye-candy. Let's take a look now at the numbers, and well, it's quite even. If you look at shots and the shots on target, both teams quite even in that department. Of course, one effective shot for St. Benedict's College, and that's the goal that they got. Corners just 2-1, saves 4-3. St. Benedict's keeper, quite surprisingly, has been the most active. However, it is St. Benedict's College who lead this by 1-0.
Yeah, well, so that is the stats for the games thus far at halftime. Let's go down to Brent Sancho and see who he's got with him.
Coach, your assessment of the first half so far?
Well, I thought we keep the ball fairly well in the early stages of the game, but we lost the game around 15 minutes ago in the middle of the park. I think they were killing us in transition, and I don't think we were marking properly in the midfield.
Well, obviously 1-0 down in the first half. Going into the second half, how do you see things changing for Fatima?
Well, we'll make some adjustments. I think we discussed it already before the halftime, and expect a better performance from us in the second half.
Thank you very much, Coach. All the best in the second half.
Thank you.
As the coach of Fatima College, I've now joined by the coach of St. Benedict's. Your assessment of the first half so far?
Well, my assessment of the first half was I would think that they had a better start than us, but we grew into the game, and our transition play, they were not able to cope with it, and that hence we got the first goal.
Of course, you're 1-0 up going into the second half. Any changes?
I think we should start a bit sharper at the start of the half and try and maintain it from there. Try and maintain our lead.
Thank you very much, Coach. All the best to you.
Cheers.
In the second half, of course, the coach of St. Benedict's College talking about the changes or possible changes they may make into the second half. I'm now sending you over, of course, Hans Savines, who has the Honourable Minister.
Well, thank you very much, Brent Sancho. We are pitch side with Dr. the Honourable Nyan Gadsby Dolly, our Minister of Education here in Trinidad and Tobago. Dr. Dolly, can you please tell us, especially for the people that don't know, how does the ministry actually support the league?
The ministry supports the league by giving our advocacy for the league. The league, of course, is very good at getting their donors and so on. So what we do is we endorse the program. We endorse, for example, today, the schools were over early today because they had to come down to support their teams. So we give our advocacy and our full support behind the work of the league.
And what about the girls' football?
Well, you know, it is so wonderful to see the girls out there because we cannot accustomed to the boys, but it's wonderful to see our young ladies because holistic development is important for our children, especially after this COVID situation. So we're happy to see the girls out.
All right, well, Minister, who do you have to win this one?
May the best team win, the best team.
Very good answer. Siobhan is actually in the stands right now with the fans. So Siobhan, over to you.
When it comes to time, right? there's a lot of energy in the stands right now at the Atabolan Stadium. As you know, it is the final St. Benedict's versus Fatima College. And with me, I have Luke of St. Benedict's and Adam of Fatima College. Now, Adam, we already know you guys are down, but what is some words of encouragement you would tell your teammates if they could hear you going into second half?
All Fatima has to do is just come with more intensity and get some goals. So just play hard, play with spirit, and yeah.
So you think they could come back in the second half?
Of course, easily.
Thank you, Adam. And now we have St. Benedict's rep here, Luke. So Luke, how you feel about the first half? You're already up by 1 goal.
I feel confident, and going in the second half, I always believe that we just play stronger in the second half, and we have the energy and the support.
So you think that you guys are going to take it in the second half? You're taking the whole premiership?
Yeah, I believe so.
So I see you have some friends on the side here. What do you all have to say for the rest of the Benedict team?
SBC, we taking it over!
All right, folks, right about second half action.
By standing in the aisles.
Welcome back here to the Atto Boldon Stadium, and what a beautiful shot of the Atto Boldon Stadium here. We're at the Tiger Tank Secondary School's final, and St. Benedict's College, they lead by 1-0 against Fatima College. And we have a huge crowd here supporting these two teams. There is the trophy they're playing for, and the St. Benedict's team, they are making their way back out. Of course, Brent, they would be the happier team at the moment.
Well, listening to the sentiments expressed by the both coaches, of course, St. Benedict's spoke about how long they took to get into the game, and I tend to agree. And of course, Fatima said that they came out of the game, particularly in the middle of the park, more to the latter part of it. And you would have to think into this second half, it's going to have to take something out of Fatima's norm to get back into it. Uncharacteristically, they're going to have to start throwing numbers forward side to be a bit more advanced of the football, and they'd have to do away with that very resolute, very well-structured defensive shape that they've had throughout this tournament.
Is it a question of maybe Romani and Degans pushing forward a little more, Brent?
Well, I think Romani and Degans, and I think the exploits of Hospitalis and of course Nunes, going to have to be higher up the park. We've seen them in the games that they've dominated when it's space side, and even for some parts of the game in San Juan North, we see them a lot more advanced. But when they play teams, of course, with the capabilities that St. Benedict's has, they tend to be a bit more reserved. But now they're 1 goal down, they're going to have to release the shackles on both players.
Well, the thing is, if you're going to advance, if you're looking at Nunes and Hospitalis advancing, it means you're going to get more space for Bobcom on one side and Niles on the next side, and they can't afford to push forward too much and leave those two guys at the back, because they could pay daily.
But what it also can do, it can create an overload going forward, which means that they may have better ball retention, where they don't lose the ball as quickly as they do when they are stretched and allow spaces to St. Benedict's exploit.
Well, it's going to be interesting here this second half. There is the goal scorer, Tariq Lee. It's his goal is the difference here so far between these teams. We're just about getting ready for the start of the second half. And there is the referee Crystal Sobas, FIFA referee, and very much an experienced referee doing this final. She awarded a penalty to St. Benedict's in the 12th minute, and unfortunately Daryl Garcia missed it. So we're just about getting ready. There we go for the start of the second half. It's Alcantara, gets it back to Nunes. This is Jaden Williams. Atherton, Alcantara. Doesn't hold on to that ball at all, does he? He's very much picks it up, Brent, control, and looking to lay off one time.
Yeah, he's simplifying his role. And that's because he has a good understanding of what is expected of him. He's done it quite well. There he is again, protecting the back four.
Ball played wide towards Bobcom. Being confronted by Nunes, but decides to play it towards Ochoa. Gets it back to Bobcom. Eventually cleared away by Nunes. It's going to be a throw for St. Benedict's, because the ball in fact came off of Nunes. The last ball is Elijah Nunes.
I'd be quite interested, Colin, to see the tempo of the game that Fatima tries to exert into this half. We all sat here wondering whether it's fatigue at the end of the first half. Are they going to try to up the tempo, make it a high tempo game, and try to throw numbers forward?
Well, here is the throws, the other way by Williams, but picked up here. In fact, it's going to be a free kick. Going to be a free kick as fouled by Alexander. Just as in the Champions League, Brent, James is happy. Barcelona is in the lead. No, they're not in the lead. Barcelona is losing again, Brent. Oh my word.
was
Oh,
about to
my
say.
word.
Knew something was wrong with that score.
That's why he wasn't looking so happy. I couldn't understand at halftime why he wasn't looking that happy, because he was checking his scores, and all of a sudden there was this a sort of sadness came over his face. There was no smiling at all, and I knew he was checking his scores, and I thought Barcelona was in the lead. Well, talking about the lead, St. Benedict's, they have the lead here, and we're absolutely sure about that, as Fatima coming forward with Hospitales. Gets it to the Gans. He's got to give it chase, and then plays it behind Bailey, but Bailey does well in the end. Very upset with the Gans, and you could see him telling the Gans that he should have played it forward rather than square. But this is Nunes, and he loses out trying to get around Bobcom. Goes to Lee, sends it forward to Bobcom. Bobcom is on the go. Here he goes, getting to the byline, sends it back, and then was dangerous from Alexander. He let it run, and Hospitales was the one clearing it. That ball sent downfield by Romani, picked back up by St. Benedict's. Morian looking to come forward with it. So this is Devonish. Hospitales trying to get it up to Williams, but again sends it out. And this is the Gans. Getting it to Bailey. Bailey looking to take on Morian. Blows past Morian. Oh, that's a good tackle in the end. Excellent tackle coming. Looks to be Alexander putting in the tackle.
I'm surprised, Colin, you didn't say it was another Brent Sancho tackle. Is it because it was a legitimate tackle?
Here is the Hospitales, still Hospitales. Oh, he just tried one too much. I thought he should have hit it, Brent, when he got into a position, but he was so much on the go.
Well, it was on his weaker side, and maybe he felt that he couldn't generate enough venom. As we have another look at a Brent Sancho challenge, Colin, you agree? Legitimate, clean,
legitimate,
hard.
Clean. That's why I didn't say it was a Brent Sancho tackle. It was good, it was legitimate. He timed it well, and he played the ball.
All the attributes attached to a Brent Sancho tackle.
Well, it's going to be a throw for, is it Fatima? No, I think they've given the throw to St. Benedict's. So just about 5 minutes so far gone in this second half. This is Lee. It's a good tackle coming in from Arthurton. It's going to be a corner for St. Benedict's. So a left-sided corner for Benedict's. Here is the corner, sent over to the far post. Edwards punches it. Alcantara can't get it. Ochoa looks to have the shot, and Alcantara does well. Eventually the ball comes towards the Gans. Good sliding tackle coming in from Niles, but it's picked up by Bailey. Gets it back to Nunes. Alcantara. Bailey. Making that run is Mason. That's a good run. Looks to come inside with it. Ball sent up field by Morian. Garcia. Niles being confronted by Hospitales. Looks to play Garcia up front. And it's picked up by Arthurton. Edwards clears it downfield. Headed away by Morris, so it's going to be a throw for Fatima. Hospitales getting it to the Gans. still, the Gans looks to play a ball way over onto the far side, trying to get Bailey involved. Alcantara picks it up, gets it to Nunes. Nunes looking to get it towards Mason, but cleared away by Alexander.
He's been solid back there,
Yeah.
Alexander. Hasn't really put a foot wrong. It's like one of those defenders that barks out instructions and tries to lead by example.
Very confident as well, isn't
Yeah,
he?
he's confident in what he sets up to do.
Alcantara goes back towards Atherton. This is Hospitalis. Williams back to Hospitalis. Looks to have a shot. Really wasn't in control. He was being put under pressure by Garcia, and so he was never in control of that shot. And the ball went wide. Always looking to come forward, isn't he, Hospitalis?
Yeah, I think he's been the best player for Fatima College Hospitalis on both sides of the ball, defensively, offensively. Right now they're looking for somebody to put their hands up. Well, he's got his two waving at the moment. Looking for supporters. Can he find a supporting cast?
This is Nunes. Alcantara to Mason. Hospitalis again looking to come forward. Fatima started to dominate some possession going forward, but as soon as I say that, they give it away. Garcia on the go. That's a good tackle by the Gans. Played back into the Gans by Williams. This is Alcantara. Williams gone wide here. Back to the Gans. Hospitalis. They're knocking it around. Haven't made much forward movement, but Williams now is coming forward with it. Gets it towards Bailey. Looking for the shot. Has the shot, but bouncing just in front of the goalkeeper. Matter of fact, that looked like Romani taking the shot and not Bailey.
I think that's the main difference between these teams. We looked at the halftime stats. 9 shots apiece at halftime, 4 each on target, but it's the quality of shots.
Well, here goes Bobcom. Hospitalis is there. Sends it out. It's going to be a right-sided corner for St. Benedict. Coming up to 10 minutes of the second half gone. And Benedicts, they still lead by that 33rd minute goal through Tariq Lee. There is talking about Tariq Lee going to take the corner. The St. Benedict's coach, he's done so well. Randolph Boyce. And Garcia is down. So he's getting some treatment at the moment.
You would think, guys, another goal by St. Benedict's College and it may be lights out for Fatima. So I think it's really important that if a goal is scored in this contest, Fatima College,
yeah, they need to score the next goal.
Yeah. I just don't see them coming back from 2 goals down.
They've started the second half well. I think they're trying to put St. Benedict's under pressure. But, you know, the St. Benedict's organized, their backline is well organized. And if you notice, Fatima, they're not getting through. And they're resorting to shots from distance.
Yeah, now, of course, Fatima is putting more numbers ahead of the football. And as James rightfully said, though, it's a type of possessions. It needs to have a little bit more quality in it.
Yeah.
But it's an improvement, certainly from an offensive side of things. They haven't played badly, although they're 1 goal down, Fatima.
Well, it's Tariq Lee with a corner, sends it low. And ball sent, cleared away. Romani was in that little bit of a collision with Ochoa. This is Niles. Garcia is wide. This is Garcia. Hospitalis sprinting across to put in the challenge. Garcia does well, comes right across. Ball now goes to Hospitalis, trying to get the better of Garcia. And the crowd doesn't like it. Garcia goes down. Crowd thinks that Hospitalis was the one who was committing the foul against him, but the referee Sobers was right on spot. As far as she was concerned, there was no foul. This is Nunes, gets it to Bailey. He can't turn with it. Ochoa wins it. Brown, Benedicts, now knocking it around nicely. It's with Morian. And away goes Niles. Can he keep it in? Yes, he can. being confronted here now by Atherton and sends the cross way over onto the far side. Lee is going to give chase. Looking to take on Nunes. It's not getting the better of Nunes, and in fact the ball comes off of Lee. And the crowd loved the little shimmy from Tariq Lee. He's that type of player. When he gets the ball, he excites the crowd, doesn't he?
Yeah, you expect something to happen. He's a player that's certainly not afraid of the spotlight, wearing the captain's armband. I think when you start trying to dissect this in Benedict's team and the power that moves them, Tariq Lee is certainly there. Look at this for a bit of skill here. Cristiano Ronaldo type. Not sure. Maybe the Aldo is still missing.
Yes.
Reminiscent of an old St. Benedict standout, Silvio Span. He mastered that move, certainly.
Silvio Spanner.
Well, here is the free kick sent downfield by the Fatima custodian. Picked up in the middle by Alcantara. The Gans. It's a good ball towards Romani as Bailey comes into the picture now. Looking for the Gans. They're looking for the offside. It's not on. The Gans sends the ball across. Out comes the goalkeeper, very confident. It's Devonish. Bowls it out towards Niles. Plays a 1-2 with Garcia, but that's hit too far ahead. And you could see Niles very frustrated with that one.
But
the ball, yes, the ball is still in play.
It stayed in. I wondered why Niles stopped, because
I think he didn't expect the ball that way.
Well, he shouldn't have stopped, because it always had that trajectory to stay in. I think he was too eager to make a complaint.
I think he was on the ground as well. He's just gotten up from the treatment table when that one came over. And maybe some residual effects of that as well.
So this is going to be a throw for Fatima. Ball coming off of Lee. Says Ochoa. Can't keep it in, goes out, and it's going to be a throw for Fatima. So Fatima trailing still by that lone goal scored by Tariq Lee in the 33rd minute. This is Atherton bombing forward with it. Does well. Gets it to the Gans. Is he going to go wide? Yes, he does for Bailey. Bailey takes on his man. Looks to get it in field. The shot comes on the turn from Mason, but good keeping from Devonish. He's been very, very solid in goal for St. Benedict.
He has been. He's not had much to do, but when he's been asked to do something, he's done it, and done it very well and efficiently.
This is Tariq Lee.
It's a poor ball. Well, it isn't actually.
Yeah, it's picked up here. Well, is it a penalty? Yes, it is.
I'm surprised. I'm a bit surprised, Colin.
Another penalty here. And it appears that Hospitalis was the one who was infringing Garcia, and the referee has intimated that it's another penalty. Well, we'll have to have a look at that again.
Or was it Harvey Dent?
She was right on spot, wasn't she?
Yeah. Was it Harvey Dent that said, you die a hero, you live long enough to become a villain? Well, he's been a hero for them defensively all afternoon, Hospitalis. And this time, well, the referee judging that some big boy play a bit too rough, and he's the villain.
Well, we've seen those given before.
Yeah.
As much as, I thought it was a bit harsh, but it has been given before.
Well, it's Tariq Lee, and he puts it away. 62nd minute. This time it was not Garcia, it was Tariq Lee who took the penalty and he put it away, and oh boy, things are getting a little rough here now. Things are getting a little rough. I think Niles went for the ball and they're trying to get the ball from Niles. Well, what's going on here?
That's a bit silly.
Yeah, but Niles, give it up. It's not your ball. And we see goalkeeper Edwards very upset at the moment.
I think there may be a few cards shedded out here, but it's poor sportsmanship. You've already scored the goal. Get back into your half.
Give them the ball and get back
and allow Fatima to, of course.
He kept the ball. They asked for the ball. He kept running with the ball, and I'm not sure why. It really upset Edwards.
Yeah, it's I think he's a bit frustrated he didn't make the save.
Well, he gets a yellow card. That's unfortunate.
But I think again, as we take a look at it here, both players, of course, headed to the net. Niles, why is Niles there? I don't understand why he wants the ball.
Yeah, I don't know. Look, there he goes with the ball. Where is Niles going with the ball?
I'm not sure. It makes no sense. And of course, the handbags come out after that, and it caused a bit of a fracas. It's unfortunate because the game has been played in terrific
good spirit.
We've had a tremendous crowd here so far, and to see that unfold, it's a bit unfortunate. Doesn't negate the fact it's been an entertaining game, and of course the changes have been rung in by Fatima College.
Yep. Atherton is coming off. The Guns is coming off.
Leader begins being replaced by Kate Collier. And we have...
We've had so much discussions about officiating calls, guys, throughout the games. Of course, our well-astute cameras have picked up everything, and this is a perfect view of the penalty. Garcia with a bit of trickery. And look at the hands of Hospitalis.
Did he pull him down?
Well, it's difficult not to give it. The mere fact that his hand is there, he's obviously, of course, going to put himself under the spotlight. And it's, for me, as of course a defender, I would suggest that it's a bit soft. But once you do that, Colin, you put yourself in the spotlight.
Well, here's Hospitalis getting it to Shaves. Shaves, who's come on as a substitute. This is Alcantara.
Well, it looks like Fatima is going to a back three.
Yes, Zamora. This is Zamora, another substitute.
Yeah, they've gone to a back
three.
Colin. That's a good tackle.
But here goes Garcia. Directly on the go. That's a good tackle from Williams. But it goes only as far as Niles. Gets it to Lee. Back to Niles. They're turning it on now. St. Benedict's. This is Niles. Still Niles. And the ball goes out. Is it going to be a throw for St. Benedict's? I think it's going to be a throw for Fatima.
A bit too early for that.
There's still 25 minutes left in this game.
It's a very early for that. I think they need to focus on game management, possessing the ball, St. Benedict's College, and trying to slow down the pace of the game. Not allow Fatima back into it.
This is Mason.
That's a good ball.
Yeah, but I think the keeper is going to get there quickly. Yep.
I wasn't sure for a second. Colin, he looked a bit slow out of the blocks.
Looked a little debatable, didn't it?
Looks like you in a 100-meter sprint.
You did see me at the stadium, didn't you?
Yeah, unfortunately I had no other choice. I wanted to close my eyes, but your sudden bursts of speed, is that the right word, burst, or is it...
I nearly was busted, you mean. But here is St. Benedict's back in possession. It's with Brown. Alexander to Dimas, so he's playing a dangerous game.
Yeah, it's silly. And he's lucky to get away with it, really he is.
Shaves.
He should have cleared it with his right foot and the danger would have been over.
Well, they've given away a throw to Fatima. And this is Collier. Gets it to Shaves, the two of the substitutes. But it's one here by Niles. And he's got a throw for his team there is one of the substitutes, Michael Shaves.
I know it's only about 67 minutes in, guys, but it has been entertaining so far. It hasn't had the quality that we would have expected, because both teams have shown at times throughout the season that they do have good quality, but it has been still a game that has been enthralling for those who are here, and I must mention the many fans that are here. We've had a really good turnout here at the Atto Boland Stadium. You just have a feeling, Colin, that these two teams might just meet again.
So the confirmation there of that yellow card in the 64th minute for Tristan Edwards, the Fatima custodian. And Jeremiah Niles, he also received a yellow card. So Fatima making 3 substitutes. Cade Collier coming on for Aidan DeGans. Then Isaiah Zamor coming on for Johansi Arthurton. And Michael Shaves coming on for Kym Williams. So you're right up to date here. It's 2-0 St. Benedict's lead against Fatima.
They have to find another gear, guys. Fatima College. It's offensively, it's been a bit too pedantic and meticulous in the build-up. It's meticulous and slow, pedestrian-like. They could advance it a bit faster in these sorts of areas. Maybe a bit more 1-2s and of course trying to advance the ball faster.
Not sure where they're going to get the gears from, Brent.
Well, that's the question, isn't it?
Well, here they go, though, down the left side.
Ball.
This could be a goal. Yes, it is.
Terrific. Outstanding.
Brilliant ball. And the substitute is the man who has put it into the back of the net. That is Cade Collier in the 69th minute. Game on.
And St. Benedict's College only have themselves to blame. They went into victory mode and the game was far from over. They switched off. We saw it against Presentation College. As you have another look at it here. Bailey.
What a good ball.
Good ball, and look at that tongue. Finishes plump into the back of the net. Couldn't ask a better finish by the young man, the substitute coming off the bench, giving hope to the Fatima College faithful, telling them stand up, we're ready.
So there is the man of the moment, Cade Collier. And what a good goal it was. And we see another substitution. Romani is off. And Darius Jordan is on. So 2-1 now. We did say they needed to change gears, Brent, and they fooled both you and me, and they changed a gear.
Well, it's a combination of them changing a gear and St. Benedict's College going down a gear.
That's right.
And it's the reason why Fatima is back into it. We saw some of it step into the game against Presentation College. They were up 5-0, and then of course Presentation came storming back. And as much as you can blame it for the amount of changes that St. Benedict's make substitutions during the course of it, you still should not be allowed to get back into a game when you're 5-0 down.
But I tell you what, it was a beautiful cross and really a good goal. Here comes St. Benedict's looking to get a third goal, but here is the substitution. Jordan coming in for Romani, confirmation of that substitution.
Now it's a lot easier to go from low to high gear, Colin. And you wonder St. Benedict's going down a gear if they're going to continue to slip.
Well, a little bit of complacency stepped in, and you saw it in their play, Brad. They were playing around with the ball at the back and
their body language.
Like that. Yeah.
Right.
Well, here's Tariq Lee with the corner. Nunes comes away with it. Gets it to Jordan. Goes out. It's going to be a throw. Fatima making 4 substitutions, trying to change the momentum of this game.
They changed tactically, didn't they? They went to a back 3, it looks like. And it allowed them to put numbers forward. And all of a sudden now, guys, we got a contest on our hands.
That's right. This is Collier, the man who scored the goal.
That's
Sends a long ball.
Brilliant ball.
He couldn't take it in his stride. Jordan.
It needed him to.
Yep.
It's brilliant.
Just couldn't take it in his stride. But what a good ball.
There's the goal again. Look at the cross.
Beauty of a cross from Bailey, wasn't it?
And good finish here by Collier.
Just have to question a bit of the goalkeeping though. Just hear my coach Michael Murray saying footwork.
Yes.
And you look at the goalkeeper's positioning and how he threw his body at it. 1.5 step to the right, and that could have been a different outcome.
Yeah, I have to agree with you there, James. He's just seemed to come on spot dive. I don't know where he thought he would have generated the power to get across there with a dive, but easy yourself shuffling your feet.
I thought it was a well-controlled volley. He took it well. Very well placed. But here is Shaves. Alcantara.
All of a sudden, Fatima tails are up now.
Yeah. This ball played towards Collier. A foul committed on Morris. It's going to be a free kick for St. Benedict's. Just about 17 minutes still to go. And once you're just 2-1, anything is possible at 2-1.
Well, and I think to put some context to that, Colin, the type of playing environment we're in now. That being said, here goes
Lee. This could be his hat-trick. It is his hat-trick. That's it. Tarek Lee. That takes him to 13 goals now in the season. But again, Tarek Lee, he is 1 goal behind Larry Noel now. But what a good goal again from this man. He is a poacher. You just can't leave him alone.
Well, this is what you dream about when you go to bed at night when you're a school footballer. They ask if lightning can strike 2 times. I don't know the answer to that, but it certainly can 3 times. And it's called Tariq Lee. Banging it in the first post, right through the arms of the goalkeeper. Well, Edwards didn't do too much wrong today, but that one is going to be questioning himself. But he can't question the quality of Tariq Lee.
Yeah, it took a slight deflection.
I still think, though, Colin, that Edwards maybe could have been a bit more advanced, James. You could bear me out there. But take nothing away from Tariq Lee. His power, his pace, and his precision. Laser that into the back of the net, and the St. Benedict's fans are jamming.
Oh, yeah. Well, at 2-1, they must have had a little bit of nerves at that point. But certainly, with this little cushion now, at 3-1, things are looking good for St. Benedict's.
Well, it's not the first time we've seen Lee outpace his defenders and getting in. It's hard to even argue a man of the match conversation, guys.
Well,
James, man of the match?
I wonder. I tell you, it's tough though. Saw 2 goals, and he's going to be a bit disappointed with himself. He's been quite solid, but Brent Sancho, quite correct. Maybe a half step forward more would have narrowed the angle a bit more. He was a bit in line with the post, inside of the post. When it came off his body, it deflected onto the post, and then it was inside of the net. He's going to be disappointed, and what a crucial moment. And you just feel this is the blow that would knock Fatima College out, and the win that we saw within them in the last few minutes.
And we talked about what Fatima needed to do, but we also spoke of the consequences of if they did it, and that's putting more men forward ahead of the ball, leaving gaps at the back, and that's what happened. And St. Benedict's, as we said, they have so many different threats within their squad, whether it be Lee, whether it be Popcam, whether it be Niles, whether it be Garcia, Ochoa. List goes on and on. Of course,
substitution for St. Benedict's. Garcia is coming off, and Critchlow is on. So there is confirmation of the substitution. Let's just have a look again, guys, at this goal. There was Bobcom playing it through to Lee. Look at the goalkeeper positioning.
Look at Nunes. Nunes doing everything in his power. So it's a long ball forward, flick on, Bobcom gets it instinctively, treads it in. Look at Nunes, just can't keep up with it. Power, strength, and Nunes is a big boy. No slouch for pace as well, but he just couldn't keep up with Lee. I do agree. I think if Edwards was probably a step or two forward, just maybe, but it was hit with a lot of pace.
Oh yeah, you can't really, at the end of the day, would have been a magnificent save if he kept that out. So St. Benedict's leading by 3-1. Just got about 12 and a half minutes left in this game.
Yeah, position and everything for a goalkeeper. The young man still has some way to go. He will learn, but he will look back at that moment and think, could I have been better positioned?
Here's the ball sent forward, looking for Mason. Hospitalis trying to get the better of Niles, but it comes off of Niles. It's going to be a throw for Fatima. Trailing by 3-1. A hat-trick from the Benedict's captain, Tariq Lee. And there he goes again, Bobcom. And Lee has made the run, trying to find Lee. That was really an interesting ball from Bobcom. Just wasn't hit with enough pace. This is Alcantara. Back to Nunes. Alcantara. Jaden Williams pumping that ball forward, looking for Shaves. This is Critchlow. Gets it to Bobcom. Does well. Does very well. Being confronted by Nunes. Coming back is Jordan. Sends that ball over onto this near side. Niles picks it up, being confronted by Hospitalis on this occasion. Still Niles can't keep it in, and it's going to be a throw for Fatima. Shaves looking to get it down towards Bailey. Is it infield to Shaves? Trying to get that ball across. This could be another chance here for Fatima. Beaten on the chest by Morian. Did very well. Mason hit it on the turn. And there was no real appeal from the Fatima team for a handball. And again, referee Sobers was right on spot and immediately waved the play on. But and really a good attempt from Mason. He was hitting it on the turn.
Gotta be honest though, thought it might have come off a different part than the referee saw. But then again, I'm far away from the action.
Here's another look at it here. Chaves getting in, bearing it into the box. Good ball across there. Good defending there by Alexander. This is the moment here. Ooh, I tell you, I'm not sure.
Referee Sobers was right on the edge of the box, so guys, she's a little bit closer than we are.
Well, we're not arguing the fact, Colin. We're not arguing it at all.
There is ball coming off of Hospitalis, and Niles, we've seen Niles do that about 3 times today. I'm not sure if any of them has worked.
Have all of them gone for a throw?
So it's going to be a goal kick for St. Benedict's. Just about 10 minutes left in this game.
I like the look of Shaves though since he's come on. It's unfortunate that they're down by 3-1. I really felt that since he's come on, it's close control. He exploits those half spaces. He can get past players 1v1, and it has certainly created a different dynamics for Fatima going forward.
Yeah, he's a willing runner, and he wants to get into spaces. But I think this gentleman on the ball has been head and shoulders above everyone.
Well, that's a good ball to Niles. Niles is on the charge. Here goes Niles. Oh, he goes down. No, another penalty. Well. Again, referee Sobers points to the spot. She's taking out a yellow card as well, and she's booking Jaden Williams.
Yeah, I think it's the first one that undid him. Not necessarily the second challenge.
The speed of Niles, and look at him. He goes by his man. Look at it now. He stops, turns.
Yeah, it's a penalty.
Yep. He pulled him down.
It's a penalty.
He pulled him down.
That's good officiating.
Yep.
It's
Now, why aren't they giving Tariq Lee to take this penalty? Why? Why would they not give Tariq Lee? Give the guy his 4th goal. Come on. Where is the coach? We see the referee. He's been called over by the 4th official. I think a red card is going to be pulled out to somebody. Who's been given the red card? Stephen Williams, the manager, seemed to be given the red card. But why, James, why wouldn't Tariq Lee take this? Come on, somebody has to give me an answer.
Well, I think he's had enough in the goal scoring department, so it's time for someone else. Nevertheless,
well, it's going to be Morian.
I like when a defender steps up to take
I tell you what. If I was Tariq Lee, nobody getting that ball from me.
He's already scored.
You're not Tariq Lee.
Something about gluttony being a sin.
Here's Morian. And it's saved! It's saved! So, guys, tell me, please.
That's a poor decision. We agree.
Thank you. That's all I want you to say.
It's a poor,
Is it so hard to say you agree with me?
Well, I don't agree with you. I agree it's a poor decision. Another look at the penalty kick again. Yeah, it's tame. Edwards again putting it wide.
Cleared away. So here goes St. Benedict's. This man Niles, he's been a real handful. And Tariq Lee giving chase. Where's Edwards going? He can't hold it.
That's good goalkeeping.
Yeah, excellent. This is Morris. Now again, you wonder if the score was 2-1. Again, you wonder if the score was 2-1. There is a yellow card being given to Brown. That's a tough tackle.
Well, he's lucky.
Yeah.
It could have been a bit more.
Yeah. The question is, James, if St. Benedict's was 2-1 up, would they have given Morian to kick that penalty? I think not.
No, they wouldn't.
Yeah, certainly not. And I'm sure that Randolph Boyce somewhere on the sideline, he's pulling what little hair he has in his head out.
Well, let's have a look at the SportsMax app moment. And we'll get to that in a minute. Here is the SportsMax app moment. And there is the ball sent in. And the goal from Fatima. And Collier in the 69th minute, giving Fatima some hope and bringing the back to 2-1, and that is the SportsMax app moment.
Well, there were claims of a penalty kick while we were at the SportsMax app moment. Probably have another look at it. Not sure if
the crowd is not happy. They figured Fatima should have had a penalty.
Well, they want a call, don't they? But again, referee Sobers was very close.
Here goes Bobcom. Looking to take on Williams. Bobcom. That's a good tackle. Noons picks it up, but he gives it back to Bobcom.
Oh, that's naughty.
The ball comes across. Cleared up field.
Well, here's another look. Here's another look at it.
Well, they're calling for a doctor in the house. There's some problem. Well, there's all action here in the stand. There's action out on the field. Apparently there's they're looking for a medical person. In the meantime, St. Benedict's making a substitution.
Well, here again is the penalty kick for St. Benedict's College. A little tug on the shirt there.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it.
No doubt about it.
And the penalty
poor
save.
penalty.
Yeah, poor penalty.
Any medical personnel, please attend to the patron in the stands. The stretcher is being used on the field. Stretcher staff, will you please assist in these covered stands?
So just about 2.5 minutes left, and whatever added on time the referee will give here.
Please render some assistance to the patron in the stand that needs it.
There's some patron in the stand needs some sort of assistance. Brent, let's hope everything is all right with him. Yeah. But in the meantime, it's Webb, the man who's come on as a substitute for St. Benedict's. This is Brown. Well, I'm not sure what's happening. Well, we see they're asking for a stretcher. Well, it's all happening here. I'm not too sure what's happening at this point in time. Not too sure what's happening at this point in time. So the game has stopped for the moment because there is a patron in the stands seeking medical assistance, and the ambulance men they are making their way up to the stand. They're asking for the stretcher to come up. And we see the one of the Fatima attendants, he's taking the stretcher and he's raced up to the stand, much to the applause of the Fatima spectators. Well, let's see, they're heading towards the patron. Let's hope that everything is okay. But they're heading up with the stretcher.
That's the manager that got red carded.
Well, he's heading up towards the patron. Let's hope, Brent, that everything is okay. But the action has stopped on the field of play because of this incident.
Rightfully so.
And let's hope it's not any of the players' family or something like that.
Clear the eyes on the staircase.
We see the referee and the match commissioner is there. And there is the action happening all in the stands. A patron is being taken out. It's never a good sign here to see something like that. Not only at a football game, but in anywhere where somebody is being taken out on a stretcher. And, let's hope that he's all right. Thankfully, there's an ambulance here in attendance, so we'll wait and see, Brent, and let's hope that he's okay.
Well, of course, our prayers.
Now the 90 minutes have been played, but they've added 8 minutes of added on time. Referee Sobers.
Not descend onto the field following the completion of the match. All patrons are reminded to do not go onto the
But it's all happening here.
completion of the game. There is a prize giving ceremony to complete, and that takes place on the field.
So it's going to be, I would think the referee is going to just 8 minutes. The board goes up to indicate that it's 8 minutes of added on time. Fatima trailing by 3-1. This is Williams. Long ball looking for Shaves. Collier gets it to Alcantara. Long ball by Zamor, headed back upfield. Alcantara heads it across to Nunes. He takes it down nicely. Then sends a long, high, looping ball. And Devonish drops it. Every now and again, Devonish, he does some crazy things, Brent. He's a solid keeper, but every now and again, he came out too quickly for that ball. Never judged it.
Maybe a bit mistimed sometimes.
Yeah.
Exuberance. Couple other words I could add in there, but certainly doesn't give your defenders a whole host of hope again, as we saw him climbing for that one and left with his hands empty.
Well, here goes Bobcom looking for Tariq Lee. Zamor does well. And finally, Williams clears it downfield. Picked up by Nunes. Sends another long ball looking for Bailey. It goes over the head of the defender. This is Bailey. Does he go down? He does. But does the referee say it's a penalty? No.
It's not. It's not.
Just went down on his own.
Yeah, it's... Of course, now with penalties given left and right.
Yeah, I think the crowd is just looking for everything.
Yeah, they think it's a free-for-all.
Hospitalis gets it back. Let's have a look at it.
Yeah, he slipped.
Yes, just went down on his own, didn't he? Cleared up field. It's going to be a throw for Fatima.
Other than the first penalty kick, Colin, which I don't think we got a clear enough view on it. I was told there was a handball before, of course, the collision of players. I would suggest that the other penalties were a good call.
Yeah, they will. There's no doubt about it.
From a defender's perspective, I felt it's quite soft, but I've been told there's no such thing as a soft penalty. A penalty is a penalty. That's something you would say, Colin.
Yeah, that's a penalty is a penalty. I'm not a defender, so I wouldn't know.
That's why I said.
Yeah. So just about 4.5 minutes gone so far of the 8 minutes added on time. So St. Benedict's marching towards the 2022 Tiger Tank Secondary Schools League title.
And you'd have to say this has not been one of their better performances, Colin, but it shows you what this team has individually, which makes them so strong collectively. They've won this game today on individual brilliance, and that individual brilliance is by the captain.
That's right.
That's the man up front. Tariq Lee, outstanding today, that young man. And when we talked about St. Benedict's and the threats that they present, it's very difficult to hold one player and suggest that you could stop that one player because they have so many different weapons.
That's right.
Of course, they're emulating their last national title, which was won in 1998.
This is St. Benedict's back in possession through Brown. Brown still chips it forward, looking for Ochoa. And free kick given by the assistant referee. A little bit of pulling on Williams. So Williams with the free kick. Sends it deep into the heart of the St. Benedict's defense. It's cleared away. Through for Fatima. It's going to be taken by Nunes. Gets it to Alcantara. Sends a nice ball infield looking for Shade.
great athlete.
So just about a minute left of this added on time. Ball sent up, but it's going to be a throw for Fatima. Hospitalis is going to take the throw. In the final minute of this 8 minutes of added on time, it's Collier. Hospitalis controls it well, but loses out here to Bobcom. Being confronted by 1, 2, 3 players. He takes it out. It's going to be a throw for St. Benedict's. Sorry, a throw for Fatima as Bobcom just holding on to his leg as the throw comes in. Collier goes forward with it. Actually, that's Alcantara going forward with it, but it's intercepted as St. Benedict's holding on to possession. Long ball played up, looking there, searching ball for Ochoa, but it's picked up by Fatima. Sent downfield. It's cleared right back upfield. St. Benedict's numbers now at the back as Williams sends a long ball, but goes straight through. The referee whistle blows. That's it. The end of the game. Referee Crystal Sobers has indicated that the 8 minutes of added on time is up, and it's victory for St. Benedict's. They are the 2022 Nash Tiger Tanks Secondary Schools League champions here of 2022, and you have to say a well-deserved victory. They have been the better team here, not only today, but they have played really well throughout the season. And even though these two teams, when they met earlier, it was a 1-1 draw, today was not to be, and the St. Benedict's coming through victorious by 3-1. The 3 goals scored by the skipper Tariq Lee in the 33rd, the 62nd and 74th minute. The 1 goal from Fatima was in the 69th minute when Cade Collier got that loan item for Fatima, but it was not enough for them to come away with victory here this afternoon. It was a well-deserved victory for St. Benedict's. They really played exceptionally well, and you have to give them credit. You know, when you think about it, yes, it probably wasn't one of their vintage performances, but still, they held their nerve, they took their chances. Even though they missed 2 penalties, it could have been, the victory could have been even larger here this afternoon. But they certainly held their nerve, and they went on to win it. Fatima, eventually, they tried their best. They got a goal to make it 2-1, but it just wasn't enough for them, and they couldn't go on and to try and at least equalize and carry this game into extra time. So victory for St. Benedict's here at the Atto Bolden Stadium. The final score at full time, St. Benedict's College 3, Fatima College 1.
College, put your hands together for the team. Fatima College.
Let's go right away to the highlights of this game. The referee in charge was Crystal Sobers, and she got action underway in the first half. And there was Tariq Lee looking to have a shot, and then eventually a penalty was given to St. Benedict's. Garcia took it, he missed. Then a shot coming from De Gans was wayward. But here goes St. Benedict's through Niles, plays it there till Tariq Lee takes on the defender, went one way, then the X, and put it away nicely with his left foot to make it 1-0 St. Benedict's in the first half. And then here was Garcia with a shot. Brilliant save from Edwards. The rebound coming to Lee. He had a shot. It went just wide. And then Fatima with Bailey taking a shot from just on the edge of the box. Never got over it. It went over the bar. Second half, Fatima started well. Hospitalis here having a shot, but that went wide. Then Fatima on the attack again. Shot coming from Romani, but one bounce. And then a penalty awarded here as Hospitales just pulling down Garcia. Lee took it, put it away from Edwards, and it was 2-1. And the brace from Tariq Lee. Fatima made a couple substitutions. They made 4 substitutions. And then Bailey went down that left side, chipped it across, and Collier coming in, volleyed it beautifully away from the keeper to make it 2-1. And Fatima were back in it, but they never catered for that man, Tariq Lee. Long ball played forward and sent forward, and here goes Lee, putting it into the back of the net to make it 3-1 from Lee. A lovely goal again from him, and a hat-trick from the St. Benedict skipper, Tariq Lee. Another penalty was given here. Being pulled down was Niles, and penalty this time it was taken by Morian, and he missed it. Goalkeeper Edwards dived into his right, pushed it out, and he kept the scoreline at 3-1. And the final whistle coming from referee Sobers when she indicated there was 8 minutes of added on time, and at the end of the 8 minutes she called it a day. So St. Benedict's College victorious here. Let's quickly look at the stats. 12 shots to St. Benedict's, 13 to Fatima, 7 shots on target from St. Benedict's, 8 from Fatima. The fouls, 5-1. Then yellow cards, 2 yellow cards for St. Benedict's, 1 for Fatima, and of course the red card going to the manager of the Fatima team. 5 corners to St. Benedict's, 1 corner to Fatima, and 7 saves to 4 saves Fatima College. So that's. Let's go down to James. He's there with the man of the match.
Well, that's right, guys. We saw the game, and of course, our man of the match, Tariq Lee. He will receive a voucher from Michelle Salandi, and it is a sports store from Gulf City, $500 voucher for our man of the match, Tariq Lee. And he will also receive another $500 voucher courtesy Bliss Safety Store in South Park. Well, I tell you what, his hands are full because Brent Sancho will present him with our trophy courtesy SportsMax, and yet another title for our man of the match, Tariq Lee. Of course, he scored a hat-trick in today's game. And now we have our Tiger Tanks award. It is a medal, and I tell you, smiling from ear to ear. Dennis Latif is the presenter for this one, courtesy Tiger Tank. So I'm going to join our man of the match at the moment because he's standing by here, and I'm just going to slip in here. Tariq Lee, what a phenomenal performance. This is the stuff that you dream about when you go to bed, scoring a hat-trick in a final. Describe what you feel right now.
I just like the enjoyment, and I just wanted to go there and enjoy myself, and that's why I did.
Coming into this match, what were your expectations for your personal performance and your team?
We just wanted to go in with a high intensity and score.
And now tell me, what are your teams feeling now that you've won the secondary school intercol title? It's a title you haven't won since 1967. That must mean something special for you guys.
Well, it's a great feeling to bring it back to St. Benedict's College.
Well, Tariq, I tell you what, I'm going to ask my presenters to come back in the mix. Just before we do that, though, now all of these fans are here because of what you and your team have done in this competition. What do you say to your fans looking on at home?
Well, we appreciate all the support.
What's next for St. Benedict's College?
We just look further on to the bigger things.
And what about you personally? You're one of the top talents in Trinidad and Tobago at the moment. What's your aspirations next?
Well, I just want to make my father and my family proud.
Well, speaking of that, there must be some folks at home as well who you'd like to see something to.
Well, my father, my mother, and my family.
Well, I tell you what, Hans de Veens is standing by. I've got the man of the match. I've got the special position, but Hans de Veens is standing by for some more.
Thank you very much, James Saunders here, pitchside, right now joined by Coach Baba. I mean, at the start of the match, we spoke about this being a preparation period since 2016. What do you make of the boys' performance today?
I thought we was a little slow today, right? And but first, let me congratulate St. Benedict on their victory. I think they were the better team on the day. So, you know, my boys, I thought they started a little slow, and when you start slow against a team like Benedict, well then the result will tell for itself.
Well, how do you keep the boys motivated as we move into intercall, and what are you looking forward to?
All right, well, first of all, we had to go back to the drawing board. You know, we're going to work a lot harder, and of course, I'm hoping to meet Benedict in the finals for intercall.
Well, two great teams met. It was how your season started in the SSFL, and it's how it ended. Well, you never know. Might be the same in intercall. Thank you very much, Coach. All the best and blessings all the way, all right? Thank you, Coach. Joined right now by Coach Boyce of St. Benedict's College. I mean, how does it feel? How long has this process been working with these young men to get to this point?
The feeling undescribable. The moment is amazement. The fans electrifying, the atmosphere, everything wonderful. We get the win that we're looking for. Must say, all praise to the Father first and foremost. The guys played a wonderful game. I must say, kudos off to Fatima. It was no easy game, as the score might reveal, but Fatima played an excellent game of football. The guys stick to the game plan. We know we was a little faster off the blocks than them. Tell them keep running at them, keep working. We didn't play our best overall game today, but we definitely get the job done at the end of the year. It's a final, and you want to come out on the victorious side.
All right, well, what does St. Benedict's work on moving forward, and what more can we look forward to?
I think going forward, we have the intercall aspect of the tournament, with I think starting from November the 1st. We take a couple of days off, and then we go back into training, let us enjoy the moment for 2 days or so, you know, and then back to training, full speed ahead, because we want to win as much titles as possible. We want to carry the challenge to all the rest of the team. The idea is just to raise the football in Trinidad and Tobago, the development of the players. You know, we have players that have to go on to national team, go on to scholarship. So we just want to keep producing good football.
All right, thank you very much, Coach. All the best as we look forward to more from St. Benedict's College. Congratulations, today is the day. Celebrate, keep that bright smile up, Coach Boyce. Right now we get ready for the medal presentation, where we honor these young men's contribution and the hard work that they put in for the entire season. Well, the environment here in the Atto Boland Stadium remains electric, with the St. Benedict's College supporters still going at it, celebrating each and every single moment they are taking in the environment and celebrating their team. Fatima College, although not the result they would have wanted, still the supporters are here fully representing and supporting the young men of Fatima College. And of course, they would have put in so much work at the start of this match. They spoke about since 2016 they've been building this program with these young men, and trust me, Fatima College definitely a contender in the intercall competition coming up. And of course, we'll bring you all the action right here on SportsMax, Tiger Tanks, YouTube, and the SportsMax app and CCN TV6. Siobhan, an exciting one, more exciting than you would have expected.
Hands definitely. It has really been an electric environment from start to finish. The St. Benedict boys, the revelry is real right now. There's going to be a lot of traffic. The traffic is going to be super real to get out of the stadium as well, but you cannot deny the fans, the supporters have showed up and showed out for St. Benedict today.
Well, the last time St. Benedict's College would have actually won an SSFL Premiership would have been in 1998. So really a sign of the return of St. Benedict's to football prominence. And here we have the Fatima College, the young men collecting their medals.
Fatima College. Well done, Fatima College. Runners up 2022.
Captain Bailey receiving his medal first. Tristan Edwards receiving his medal at this point in time. The custodian who would have stood in the net for the team. Next up we have Nunes, just collected his medal.
Mr. Gonzalez, president of the secondary school football league.
Isaiah Shamor, young Hospitalis, who has served them on the wing so many times for this season. Young Alcantara, who has had fantastic game after game, despite the tears today. DeGans collecting his as well. Collier, the goal scorer. Jaden Williams, who would have contributed to the goal tally. Atherton, who also had a great game. And of course their backup keeper, who would have stepped in that matchup against St. Anthony's College, the young Atong. Chaim Williams, who was their top goal scorer. Jaron Jordan, Michael Chaves, Logan Mingo, Joshua Mason, Kiva Romani, who would have equalized against St. Benedict's College when they faced them at the start of the season. And of course the coaching staff, goalkeeping coach Declan Squires, assistant coach Williams, who they refer to as Bison, and all the rest of the coaching staff,
This is what we consider
including Sutton,
sport in the secondary school football league.
and their coach, who would have raised the standard of Fatima College's football and really worked with these young men, Hudson Baba Charles. And as the St. Benedict's College supporters continue to cheer, we now have our 2022 Tiger Tanks Secondary Schools Football League Premiership Division winners collecting their medals.
SSFL Tiger Tanks 2022 trophy. Following this stage of the competition, we move into the integral stage. So we urge all patrons to continue to support these youngsters, both male and female. Get their concerns from here. Girls,
Our 2022 Tiger Tank Secondary Schools Football League Premiership Division. Young men now collecting their medals from the Minister of Education, Dr. the Honorable Nian Gadsby Dolly, and our representatives from Citizens, of course, Mr. Latif from Tiger Tanks, and our SSFL President, Mr. Gonzalez, also presenting medals to these young men who have worked oh so hard for the entire season.
students, the administration are asking you those who pick up the buses and our utility buses, please assemble on the southern end of the stadium, the covered stands. One of your members of staff will give you
They worked so hard at the start of the season. They said their goal was to win some titles this year. And it took them 24 years to once again capture this Tiger Tanks Secondary Schools Football League Premiership Division title. But boy, oh boy, they are relishing in the moment. And we see these young men. Captain Terry Lee, of course, who would have been our man of the match, and also the man to lead his brothers to victory. Followed by the entire coaching staff. These individuals would have dedicated time to the team. And here it is, the cup that they would have competed for. The final score today, St. Benedict's College 3, Fatima College 1. We present to you your 2022 Tiger Tanks Secondary Schools Football League champions. Coached by Coach Boyce, now being presented and accompanied by their principal, their flag bearer behind them. As they face the camera, we now get ready for these young men to lift their trophy. Now for the perfect picture moment to be created. We present to you the 2022 Tiger Tanks Secondary Schools Football League Premiership Division champions, St. Benedict's College, and their captain, Tariq Lee, lifting the trophy. And this is where we wrap it up for today. Here at the Atto Bowland Stadium, St. Benedict's College 3 goals, Fatima College 1. On behalf of the entire SportsMax team, this is where we wrap up today. Siobhan, thoughts on today?
What an end to the Premiership this season. Listen, St. Benedict, as you said, it's been 24 years since last they held the title for the Premiership. And as we were talking about man of the match, Tariq Lee now stands 1 goal behind this season's top goal scorer, Larry Noel. So that is also a feat to look forward to for Tariq Lee.
Well, we thank you so much for watching. We thank our sponsors. This is the Tiger Tanks Secondary Schools Football League Premiership Division, the final. St. Benedict's College 3 emerging champions over Fatima College with 1 goal. Before we leave you with some great moments of today.